쇼다운 T1 대 하나생명 e스포츠.
And he'd be like 3 miles away from any threat, and then he'd like rocket battle an extra 5 meters, and I'd be like, brother, come on.
Positioning.
Okay, also, look at the timeline.
Better angle.
They won early. He finished Rocket Belt, they started losing, and then when he finally finished Rabadon's Void Staff, they won the game. There's a lesson there.
That is
There's
the only
a
reason.
takeaway from that, okay? Guys, there are champions where Rocket Belt is great on, right? Ziggs isn't one of them. I don't believe it. I don't condone it. It's not okay.
Right. Until next time.
Not okay.
Or we see it again.
And you know
because it won.
You know whose fault it is? You know who we're blaming for this? It's Chovy. He's the one who spread this. And you know what he did? He built Roa on Ziggs, and he even apologized for that. So, you know what? That's the lesson here.
But it's Chovy, so, you know, we just have to copy everything he does. Right?
Let's move on. I've said my piece.
That's kind of what a lot of our players do. We do have to move into this draft, though. Nocturne once again banned away here in game number 2, even with the Orianna gone. Just gonna take that away from Pioshik. And certainly a decent amount gone. You know, no Yunara, Lulu to worry about. The Azir is taken away.
Big one is Andal's Bard is available. That was banned last time. So, opportunity for him to get his hands on that. I don't know if it's like something you get first pick. Like, is Peter going to deny it? Maybe not. Varus or, you know, Ashe Seraphine is something that you could potentially lean into. We'll see. What ends up being played? Rise is just going to be prioritized as that first pick. And what are you going to answer into the Rise in this situation?
Cassiopeia.
Yeah, that's the one we often see. Not always been super successful. I feel like it's one of those things where you can understand the theory of the matchup, executing it, making sure you keep the Rise down is a different story. And it looks like they are planning to put the Bard into taking it away from Andal, sorry. I'm going to be honest, if I'm here, if I'm queuing DRX, just slam Ashe Seraphine.
Yeah.
What can I
don't really
do against
see
that?
a good reason not to.
Like, a Bard is never really going to be a threat against Ashe Seraphine because you can kind of out-sustain his poke. I mean, okay, the Bottle can be a little bit tricky, but in lane, I mean, specifically. Like, it's not like a Blitzcrank or something that has that kill threat in lane. Instead, they're going towards the Ambessa Varus, which, you know, is a pretty good rotation in and of itself. But they are going to get met with the Sivir, which we often see into that Varus. So I think DN Super's pretty okay with how they've matched things, right?
Yeah.
In terms of their lanes, they have the Cassiopeia into the Rise, they have the Sivir into the Varus, and they managed to deny Andal's Bard. The Ambessa is a flex, right? We'll see where that ends up going.
I'm excited to see if Peter has practiced his Bard a bunch more. He's definitely not known for his Bard. And some players are. Does feel like a big difference maker of a champion if you can become proficient at it. Gonna take away an Alistair, which can be powerful into the Sivir.
Yeah.
Spell Shield doesn't do a lot against him.
You know what else is good against the Sivir Spell Shield? Anivia.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw that earlier today.
I thought you were gonna say Jarvan before you said Spell Shield. I'm like, Jarvan was played in game 1.
Well, yeah. But yeah, the Anivia, the wall, you know, and also we saw a lot of times the Spell Shield coming out and then the explosion afterwards. Has Andal practiced it? We've seen a lot of our supports practice. Lahen's clearly had. Carrier, we saw the solo queue record had, but wasn't able to pull it off on stage. Will it come out here?
It's definitely not the Giga value we saw into the blind pick Alistair, but...
No, it's not going to stomp lane as hard.
Yeah.
Nico going to get banned out, trimming some of the power in the 2v2 where possible.
Kind of like the Wukong ban as well. Definitely something in Pioshik's arsenal alongside of the Lee Sin.
See, I understand the respect for Pioshik's Lee Sin, but I don't think this is a great Lee Sin angle because he doesn't really have the consistent setup for it. I prefer when you have like that reliable, like Rise Lee Sin makes sense, you know. Be able to prep that. I don't even want to talk about it because I feel like he's just flashing the phase,
yeah,
right?
They're just flashing.
We'll see what he locks in. He is doing a little round trip of all the
Fury.
things. Okay. Getting a little bit of the big dog coming out.
Yes.
We typically mostly saw Neferi into Vi. That was where we saw it most of all. Because obviously you can just... she can't ult you, ever. A lot of skirmishing power. Seeing it into the Ambessa, similarly you can kind of just... If she tries to ult on you, you can disengage in it, but it's not as, you know, a surefire thing. We do get the Anivia coming out, which I don't think was too big of a surprise. We'll see how Andal pilots it, because it isn't as much of a free lane. But I think there's a lot of value for it here into both the Sivir and the Cassiopeia. Not so much into the Neferi.
Yeah, Neferi, I mean, it is what it is. Jungle is... It's not going to be like a Xin Zhao that you can just wall off and be happy about, but yeah, definitely does have value. Also, the blind Gnar to come through for Rich. We'll see. I mean, Dudu's definitely a guy who is willing to punish, but could also just play, you know, a tanky frontliner. They already have a lot of damage, but instead, he wants to punish because it is Dudu. And Better Gnar, aka Silas, is going to be hitting the Rift in the top lane. You would have to imagine. I mean, we have seen Cassiopeia top in the past. I don't think that's going to be the case, as that was specifically the choice into the Rise, and we've seen Silas and the Gnar before.
You have some pretty good ults to steal away here as the Silas with the Varusol and the Gnar ult. I mean, that's why you take the Silas into the Gnar. You can get on top of him and be a threat when he's a mini, but it's basically just the on-demand Gnar ult, having that option. Like, Gnar is gated by having to be mega to ult. And you know what's the crazy thing is that I remember there was a patch, it was a while ago now, but they buffed the AP ratio on Gnar's ultimate.
Yeah, I wonder why.
And it was just like, that's not for Gnar.
Yeah.
That's not for him. That's for someone else.
Imagine banning one champ for a different champ.
Yeah. That's how it goes. So, the Neferi also is a bit of a callback to the last time these two teams met, when it was Pyosik who played it in that final game against DRX at the time, and he went 9-0 and 10 on it and got MVP. So looking for a performance like that again.
A mental pick into this team. Cume DRX up against the DN Supers. Game 2 starts now.
미니언들이 생성되었습니다.
Alrighty. Here we go, game number 2. The fans really getting into it. Hoping for our first third game in a series. Might happen. You know, I think Cume DRX definitely have some tools here. I do worry about the team fighting, though. I do think that there was definitely a lot of angles for DNS to show off their stuff in that last game, and it did feel like they had better control outside of that one dragon fight, which obviously was a big miss. But then from there, Cume DRX was able to get a lot of snowballing going, and that was essentially the bulk of their lead. But after that, DNS took one fight, and it was over. Yeah.
We do already see Andal getting chunked out a little bit in the bot lane. Not playing into an Alistar, a little bit different. Electrocute on both sides. Not going to be Spellbook Bard here. Peter's like, I want that damage. You were going heavy in the trades. Does miss the stun, unfortunately. He was aiming for Jiwoo against the minions. Yeah, we'll see how this one plays out. So that game that Pyosik played Neferi, it was a very low CC composition that DRX.
Yeah, Closer's just gonna have to flash here.
Oh, good fist gank. It was a very low CC composition that they had. The only CC really was the gold card from UCAL and TF.
Yeah.
And it's so easy for Pyosik to avoid that. So that's a good trade.
I mean, dude is going in. He's taking a good trade. He also did lose like 3 or 4 CS because of it.
He's sending a message though.
So.
But yeah, so that was the last situation when DRX lost to Pyosik on the Fury, but now Kiwoom DRX has a lot more CC, so we'll see if that makes the difference. We'll see if that can be the difference maker.
It should definitely help. From what I remember, that game was pretty chaotic as well.
And actually, if you think about it, Kiwoom DRX has never lost to Neferi, right? As in the team with this name.
Yes.
With Kiwoom DRX as the name. They've never lost.
They have never lost
to Neferi.
To Neferi.
They've actually also
or
never
Silas.
lost a series as Kiwoom DRX.
Yes. That's a good point you make there, Alex.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. They have now lost a game, though.
Really trying to put the hurt here on a closer, but actually, Pyosik was lurking behind them all. They don't know exactly where Willer is, so it's not like they can make a play on the UCal or anything, but maybe onto Ondil.
You know what? You know what? He's got camps to clear.
Yeah.
And
he's got places to be.
Andal had... Okay, we're going to...
Things to do.
Andal had egg. He didn't know where Willow was. He had camps to clear. It was the thinking man's recall.
Yeah.
He thought...
Very LCK of him.
He thought, could I have stayed there and gotten Andal's egg and spent the next 25 seconds playing the Ackley Sax as I try to chase him down? Yes, I could have. Or could I just kill my Krugs? And you know what he did? He killed his Krugs.
He killed his Krugs. On spawn.
Yep. Well,
so guess what he's going to do next? He's going to kill his Raptors on spawn?
There's a lesson in that.
I feel like I'm learning a lot from this conversation specifically. So
yeah,
there's a lesson in that.
I feel like I'm learning a lot today. Some things I didn't want to learn.
Yeah.
Some things not by choice. Build paths and certain champions. Certain AP ball laners.
Mel?
No.
Oh.
No, definitely not.
I do wonder if we're going to see any more Mel in the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, that Mel Pike was interesting into the Ashe Seraphine. We've kind of seen Ashe Seraphine glossed over today a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why. I do feel like a lot of our teams really love to index into...
Maybe Ashe Seraphine's been popping off in scrims. I mean, the Mel Pike's been popping off in scrims against it, you know?
Maybe.
Oh, Dudu just hit level 6 there and was ready to ult if he connected the stun, I think, potentially.
Yeah, he was ready to party.
Yeah.
He's been doing a good job of being very threatening, especially whenever Rich is in this mini form, so...
By the way, I don't actually 100% think that, like, Mel Pike is running scrims against Seraphine. I just would like to see more of it, because it was interesting, even though it didn't win the game. An interesting theory of what you could run against what seemed like a bit of a very hard, if not unbeatable, bot lane duo.
It just feels like whenever we have a duo or even a pick that's that dominant, it just gets permabanned or picked. And yet today, we have not seen it.
Yeah.
We saw the Ashe banned in a couple of the games in the first series, so that's a good part of the reason. As the Ambessa comes in, Close are going to ult the opposite way. But, yeah, the Ambessa doesn't go quite that direction. Either way, just going to get out alive, even without his flash, so that's pretty nice.
That's the setup of the combo, right? The point-and-click CC of the Rise into the ult of the Ambessa. It's very reliable, but you're a bit too close to tower. You know, not really able to chase a Cassiopeia under, especially with the Miasma. It's just not feasible, so a bit of an ambitious... Wow, slick.
Yeah, very nicely done here by Peter as, ooh, the max range chain's not going to land. And Dudu does use that hijack. Tom is getting in there. Even down a level, does not care. Knows that Jude doesn't have his ult, so doesn't really matter for him. Nice speed boost with the heal comes through there. Pyosik just going to press his R button on a Rich, who does have his flash. Tons of damage coming out here from the Neferi.
Oh, you know, so when we're thinking about broken Silas ultimates, right? You know what? Some of the most broken ones are like, I mean, obviously Nars really good, Alistar's really good. Do you know which champion just cannot play against Silas? Is the reworked Shyvana.
Yeah.
So apparently, reworked Shyvana, Silas has a 68% win rate against it.
Yeah.
Because when you steal Shyvana's ult, you get the full dragon form, but you keep your passive as Silas. So you get like the Petricite procs, and you get Shyvana's dragon form. So you're just unbeatable. You're just actually unstoppable.
Yeah.
So, you know, currently new Rework Shyvana is disabled, but even when she's back, I don't think we're going to see play if Silas is available because... Yeah.
This is the next level of Silas versus Malphite. It's Silas versus Shyvana.
Yeah.
It's not a good feel for one side of the matchup.
Yeah.
We did highlight, you know, there's not a whole lot of action in this one. Dudu has been doing a great job of just winning the top lane matchup.
Yeah, he's been
very
getting some
hard.
good trades. It is, as you said, the year of Dudu. You know,
It is, yeah. It's confirmed.
confirmed for sure. You know, he won last game. That's what we needed to see.
Yeah.
Right. Ignore all this stuff that happened.
Anything else
The fact
that
that
has
he
occurred.
let his maiden die like 3 times for no reason. You know,
Yeah, doesn't
not relevant.
Trying to gnar into the Mbessa ult over the wall. The burst damage is there. Dudu with the Kingslayer, not enough. First blood does go over to Willer.
So as I was saying, it's obviously the year of Vikla. And anyone who's saying otherwise,
Personally, I think it's the year of Raptor.
yeah, that's a good year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But probably not a year if anyone.
No,
No.
definitely not. Not in this game, at least.
Oh yeah.
Maybe tomorrow, though. KRX is going to be playing then, so
Yeah, we could.
kind of
see.
excited for that.
Maybe the year of Peter. I like Peter a lot.
I feel like it's always the year of Peter, even if it's not.
Every year is the year of Peter. I take personal responsibility for this, you know, for this play.
Yeah.
If I was a different color caster, if I was maybe a Dutch color caster named Mauhaus, I would say no, it's not my fault. I can't.
Yeah,
curse
he would never take responsibility, weirdly enough.
No, he would say,
I don't know why.
caster curses aren't real, it's not my fault. Cowardly.
I mean, we all know that that it was his fault, right? I mean, he could have just owned up to it. Like, he didn't have to make it awkward, you know?
We all knew, the viewers knew, the players knew.
Yeah. They always
coaching
came up to him
staff
after the
knew.
game. They're like, why did you say that?
He got so defensive and
Yeah.
clammy.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
That must be why.
Yeah, everyone else is just like, oh yeah, sorry, my bad. You know? Dudu will probably come up to me after this game and say, bro, come on, my bad, man.
And you just got to hit him with the, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Classic.
I just, you know, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, trying to at least. Oh.
So Dudu did die. He's actually now down on gold. Doesn't feel very good. He's still holding on to the Gnar ultimate.
So we are actually seeing Eclipse first, jungle Ambessa. We often see Eclipse first top lane, because it's like an insane spike on the champion. But it's like a really good laning spike, and it's going to be really strong on Willa, but it does mean you're a bit squishy. And, you know, from seeing what a lot of Ambessa players have kind of said about it, it's like your one item is nuts with it, but it does actually end up making you a...
Okay, well, he's kind of just baiting himself into this one now, as Willer is here again and punishes Dudu the second he steps up for a trade.
Oh, that's gotten some good value from the one item spike. But yeah, it makes you really strong in the one item spike, but like your 2, 3, 4 items, a bit weaker, not as good. But if you can leverage this one item spike and pop off, then yeah, power to you. And that is what Willer is really looking to do right now, and succeeding. And Dudu, God, imagine people were saying it was his year. And I mean, he's been playing well, but you know, not in this game. Well, no, he's been playing well in this game. He's just been getting ganked.
It's not his fault.
Not his fault.
But it is the year of Raptor, obviously.
Maybe it's the... Could we even say the year of Willa? Bit early.
In this game, I think, yeah.
The game of Willa, perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, he's trying his best to give us a 3-gamer, which is...
He is.
Very welcome at this point. We've been lacking them severely.
Yes. Brendan, it's been 2 days.
Oh.
Oh.
Gonna trap Willer here. This could be a big
Oh, the
shutdown.
miasma is
Flash
so good.
miasma! And they really wanted to kill that Mbessa, and that they will. So they succeeded in their goal. UCal still sprinting at them. The wall, fantastic here. Closer, no flash, as he used it to get on in, and immediately Cume strikes back, picks up 2 kills of their own.
Yeah, getting 2 kills in return, like, it was a heavy commit. They're like, we're going to kill Willa, we'll take him out. The Miasma was like, we are guaranteed getting him. Can't even flash out. Oh, TP coming in. Rich in Mega, but it's going to time out.
Yeah. They're still going to respect flash away. Had barrier. I feel like maybe he gets away.
Like, with the movement speed from Sivir, I think maybe he could have just walked it off and barriered late. I think it's one of those situations where it's like, you know, in hindsight, maybe. But then if you end up having to barrier and then flash, it feels really bad. I don't know. Either way, DRX doing pretty good in this game too, you know. Answering back well on that play onto Willa. But a pretty sizable gold lead already. This could be the first Game 3 of the LCK season. Yeah, the ult comes in. Didn't opt to flash. It was like, I can flash after. Not without Miasma. But then the return play comes through. The wall value is so big. Look what happens to Closer's pathing here.
Yeah.
It was against the terrain, so it's like he doesn't know where, like, the game doesn't know where he has to go. He's like, that way. And he's in the pit. It's like, yeah. Well, I guess.
I thought maybe he'd be pushed over it into the corner.
Me too. I thought he'd get out.
Yeah.
But, you know, apparently Andal has been practicing, and he just knows. Andal knows the angle.
I feel like Andal's pretty good about playing some of these new picks as well. When Kerio was really popping off on the Bard, it did feel like he also wanted to jump on the hype train and practice it a lot, and has, you know, forced counter picks or steal away picks or a lot of bans as well. So maybe his Anivia can reach that same legendary status. Interesting to see what is going to happen here on this next Drake. Already 2 Drakes over to the side of DNS, but they have definitely lost control of this game.
Yeah. And they've lost the year of doo-doo. For now. Oh, the looking bot. He's got the Mega ult.
I mean, they're all just walking over a control ward.
Okay.
And TP also utilized. So
that's a heavy commit. Rich is turning Mega.
I mean, if they get Rich and the turret and they trade turrets, it's not bad. Although Rich is, they're really struggling to take him out.
Nice.
You know, eventually they will take him down. Not before he gets some CS. Meanwhile, they're taking mid lane as well. So this is very worth for DRX. As meanwhile, even trying to take down Duckdown under the turret. In the egg, though, will go on, Dill. And immediately, we are going to see that Varus falls, and so does the egg. So, bit of an overcommit for the kill. Could have just taken the turret and walked away with the victory. Instead, that happened.
I think this is one of those plays that, like, I'm not even exaggerating. It seems so good in your mind. Like, it genuinely feels like, oh, look how we're going to play this. It's so smart, actually. Because they do the trick where, like, you stun, and if Sivir spell shields it, then the stun still connects. And then because they land the stun, they're like, oh, we can just follow up with Chains of Corruption. Sivir can't spell shield. The problem is Sivir is eventually going to spell shield and get the help and block the Blight proc. And then as a result, you don't kill Sivir quickly enough. And you're tanking the tower this whole time. Like, if it was any other champion than Sivir, that play works, but just eventually the spell shield's going to come through. You didn't have the burst to just kill it in the CC, like in the stun. Because again, the follow-up CC is the root. And so unfortunately, eventually the chain CC has to end, the spell shield comes through, the damage is blocked, the heal comes in, and the play ends up backfiring. They do at least kill the Sivir, so that's something, but
DRX had to flash for it, though.
Yeah, and DRX had such a big lead. Now it's starting to meander a bit. Remember, DN Supers have 2 dragons in pocket already.
Yeah. I mean, they're behind, but it's not the end of the game by any means. I mean, Sivir's going to scale up the Cassiopeia as well, and take a look at Pilshin.
Yeah, he's very fed. And I do want to say also, Silas, that's a champion you can be happy about having Rocket Belt. That's a Rocket Belt champion.
He's going to be making plays.
Yeah.
He is a playmaker. And the wall and the Anivia ult is being very annoying here for DNS to try to get in. Pyosik doesn't... Okay, they're actually going to make this golden. He does go pretty hard onto Ondil and immediately decides to get out. But take a look at this angle here now from Dudu.
Oh!
Finds 3 into the wall. The follow-up absent, but at least they're going to be able to take down Ondil. Pretty massive angle there from the side of Dudu. But at the end of the day, I mean, Kim, they got the Drake, only losing their support.
Okay, that was a sick play. Didn't actually amount to much. But they might find Yukal. Yukal has ult and flash. Can he get out of this?
TP's coming in. Oh, the predict on the flash there from Peter was so nice. As now we are going to have Mbessa making his way in. Jude runs straight into the enemy team and dies. Engage Cone, that's not the one I wanted to see. And now the stun comes through on a Ridge. Maybe
Run,
Peter
Peter,
gets...
run, Peter, run.
Yeah, no, he's just going to run away. And just like that, DNS are in the lead. 6-0 is Pyosik.
Pyosik, his Neferi is just a nightmare for Kiwoom DRX. DRX, Kiwoom DRX, doesn't matter what the name is, they cannot handle this pick. And Jiwoo,
쌈바 천천히.
this was a sick play. This was a sick play.
나 위에
It didn't amount to more, but
오케이. 줘.
that was such a good play.
Close the distance so quickly.
해볼게.
And it kind of just forces them all away. They get the Varus ult as well, disengages them, and then they move with this collapse onto the bot side.
Oh, no.
So I think what happens is Yukal, the predict from Peter is so good. And then he goes down, they're trying to chase in. Peter gets a sick Q flash there, but I don't know what Jiwoo was doing. I
By the
cannot
way,
answer that question.
it looks like Ridge is going to go down here as well. And one by one, the dominoes are falling. Now, it's still a relatively even game when it comes to gold. But you can feel the tempo vibes just being wrenched away.
Oh my god, you can. And I'm going to be honest, Peter is vibing. He's having such a great game on this board. He's landing the predictions on the flashes, the Q flashes, you know. He's all over the place. I just want him to build bandle pipes next so he can really amp up the vibes. That's the vibes-based item. That's a bard item, right?
That is a bard item.
Absolutely.
I think he will.
Not in terms of just like not just like a bard item, like it's good on bard, like it's a bard, like a music. You know,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
I get it.
You're picking up.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that.
You're welcome.
Even better.
No problem.
It was just kind of.
That's the thing. Like the Anivia just doesn't really do anything
doesn't
to a
do
Neferi. You can just flip over the wall.
Especially a fed Neferi. You're
And
really
Neferi-
not even doing damage to her.
You have so much haste with this build with Black Cleaver and Spurious Shojin. Your flip is such a low cooldown. It's actually ridiculous.
Dudu is ready, and he is willing to take this fight down.
Oh,
as another stun comes back up, and all of a sudden, Yukal's like, well, that was my one trap card. Meanwhile, the whole team's coming on over, so they're just going to give this kill over to Duck Dom. Nicely done. A little bit close there, but still, a win's a win, and they get a bunch of gold onto their Sivir.
Nicely hands it over. Now we're going to see how Rich died. Ult gets taken, and I imagine just Peter running him down. Yep, gets the ult. The miasma after the bard ult just feels the worst. And it was about to happen there, but Flash comes out early from Rich this time, so good call.
Yeah.
But the game is not feeling too positive for DRX right now.
Yeah, it just feels like they're being caught left and right. And they've also thrown a pretty decent lead. It wasn't massive. It was like 2,000, 2,500.
I think
They got that Drake.
can safely say, though, after the mega ult that Dudu got, it's a year Dudu back on. I'm saying it.
I think it's the Euroraptor.
No, I'm calling it.
It might be the day of Dudu.
No,
Not necessarily the game, but
I'm ready to
maybe
call
it's
it
the year
again.
of Pyosik. I don't know.
It was a sick ult.
Maybe this is going to be like his big... Okay, what did I do?
No,
he's fine.
that's how low the cooldown is.
Yeah.
Like your W is a longer cooldown, so if you burn that, it's a bit of time. But your flip is just like, it's not even like a real opportunity cost. You can just spam it. It's like, oh, I flipped it in a bad spot. 1, 2, I'm out. It's pretty ridiculous. It's only 3rd Dragon potentially for DNS, so not like a soul threat, but DRX are really set up and trying to contest this one. Oh, look at this flank. Look at this flank from Dudu. Does he have Gnarl already?
He is.
He doesn't have Gnarled.
Deep in there, and yeah, I mean, maybe you steal the Mbessa ult? Yeah, he is going to go for that double TP comes in. One of those being Jiwoo. So they're going to get a lot of summoners out of that, I suppose.
They did force them really out of the Dragon area, but DRX are pushing back in.
Andel's like, I really want to wall something, but it's Silas and Nefiri that are in the front line. I wish I did things, says Andel. Maybe if he could wall the Cassiopeia, he'd feel pretty good.
Oh,
here's
Piochik on the flank.
Yeah, I mean, they see him. And they're going to try to just taxi him out, essentially. The Dragon doesn't know where he is. Meanwhile, the mid lane turret's going to go down. So Duckdom just sidles on over, picks that one up.
Dudu's on this angle with the Mbessa ultimate. That's a big thing. They can just keep pushing mid. I mean, again, this is 2nd Dragon for Boom. It's like, you know, I mean, DNS do want it, but they don't have to get it.
Yeah. And the wall and the sun going to be used on a Peter who just walks it off. So now, good position here for DNS. And no Meganar either. Meanwhile, as little engage comes in from Dudu. But Peter actually is going to pay the price for that one. Gets super low. And Yukal tries to take him down. Piochik got the Dragon, just walks in, takes it down. Willer tries to engage, nearly dies, is actually going to die to this gigantic big dog. And now he's going in once again, and everybody is falling one by one. Triple for the Nefiri. And Jiu, nowhere for him to run, and nowhere for him to hide either. Just going to go down. 10 kills for Piochik's Nefiri.
He's on an absolute tear, just decimates DRX on this one. And you see, he didn't get so low. Thought he was going to go down here. Yukal tries to Realm Warp after him, but Dudu plays interruption. But here, Piochik just smites it, flips over the wall, he's out. They commit onto the Cassiopeia. But look at the damage done to Willer there. And that gives Piochik the reset on the ult, so he says, whatever, I'm going to ult in. Gets another kill. The Shred. This trio, the Cassiopeia, the Sivir, and the Nefiri, so much DPS. And Jiu is just the last one standing. Everyone's just paper. They do so much damage between them.
Yeah. And they even have the Silas on top of it. Obviously, Dudu is not necessarily the main character of this game, but 4 damage dealers and a big playmaker in the Silas. That was the final pick for 2nd pick DNS. So just making plays.
So here's something. When Piochik played Nefiri the last time these two teams met, he went 9-0-10.
Yeah.
So obviously less overall kill participation, but more kills.
Is he just gonna... Yeah, well, he's gonna force the ult to come out, I suppose.
Man, he's already got more kills than that game.
Yeah.
So...
And the game's not over.
Yeah. Still a chance to get more.
If I'm him, I would... I would not want to die. That would be the main thing, you know?
Here's GA.
Get a couple of games against DRX that he just doesn't die on this champion with like 1 million kills as well. And Dudu is just being so annoying to you, Cal, specifically in the side lane. Really trying to aggressively match him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Piochik, on Nefiri against DRX is 19-0-12 currently. Pretty good.
Yeah, you know, they used 2 bans. I liked the Wukong, but you also talked about the Lee Sin, how it, you know, it's good for Piochik, but not necessarily in this game.
I don't think it just didn't fit the comp. They didn't have the setup for it. Like,
I don't know if they would have actually banned Nefiri though. I do wonder if they, Ando? He Realm Warped in by himself, so he's just dead. Unfortunate for him. And now Stolen Realm Warp gonna come in from Dudu, who's gonna get him into the fight. Misses his chains onto 4 people who were right in front of him. Doesn't matter, the rest of the team is right there. And the tempo vibes are so real as DNS have so much momentum in this game. And they have a Giga Fed and a Fury. It just doesn't feel like there's any gas in the tank left here for Kium DRX. And DNS just gonna ace him. A clean ace, nobody dies. Okay, well, I don't even know what to say anymore. Oh, man.
Peter's just there for the vibes. He's just, that's the comedic relief that DNS needs. You know, he's got the Vandal pipes.
Yeah.
He's having a good time. Oh. Especially, this game wasn't super clean sailing at the start, but Pyosik just, I mean, for Kium DRX, he seems unbeatable on this pick. Unstoppable.
Get in there, Ondil. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they expected that to go. Look, sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures, and that definitely did look desperate. So, you know, didn't quite work out. That stun from Peter was crazy. It kind of just like floated over and caught him. And then I just love Peter's just goofing about. Like he portaled over there, this super long portal. And then here he's just like, yeah.
They're going to cut that part out.
That was the funniest bit.
Yeah. When he Vandal piped and just died to the turret.
Just did his little Vandal pipe solo and died.
Kind of surprised he didn't give a kill over. You know, I thought it was actually enough as nice chains here on a closer, but the rest of the team is here to back him up, so not sure if it's nice, actually. I take that back. And meanwhile, Duckdom just chasing him down on the hunt here on a Jew, and eventually will kill him. Newcal also goes down. And if the last play looked desperate, this one definitely does as well. They're trying to chase down in a Fury. They really want to give at least one death to Pyosik, but he still has his GA. He flashes away from the Ambessa, leads the charge, and nobody can touch him. It's just impossible. Duckdom, he's playing a different game. He's taking down the Nexus turrets, and it looks like we are going to have yet another 2-0, this time for DNS. As we had a nice little lead for Kium DRX early on, and that quickly fell away in favor of DNS here. A gigantic performance once again from Pyosik on the Fury. And DNS are looking clean to start off the LCK.
It's that
Definitely they would have caught that on camera and gotten the reference.
You know,
What was that?
show Peter dying, it's funny.
가오 잡을게, 가오 잡을게. 라이즈 올려놨어. 야, 마무리할게.
This was engaged you once again. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah,
The
pretty
engaged
desperate.
cone was pretty funny, honestly. You know, we talk a lot about comedic relief. That was pretty funny. You know, the timing.
I really don't know what he thought was going to happen.
It's
There
like
were
that.
3 people there.
It's like, you know, in those movies, the freeze frame was like, you're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. You could have done that. Would have been
어제 우리
perfect.
가인이거든? 나 열어줄게, 열어줄게. 받아줘. 나궁 초기 안 됐네 또.
Yeah.
안 빼서
And we still didn't get our game 3, Brendan. You know, we made the jokes. It's like 2
2
games,
days in
2
a
days in a row. That's, you know, but are we gonna go 3? What if we go a whole week? What if we go a whole season?
I don't know if that's ever happened. The whole week.
I'm pretty
The
sure
whole season definitely has
we definitely had a period where we just had loads of 2-0s.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we went a whole clean week. But what if we, at this point, if we extrapolate, because right now we're at 100%, it could just be 100% of the season. That's how it
There
works,
is a
right?
chance, yeah,
That's
that
how
could happen.
That's how data sets work, right?
Yes.
You just
It started off
expand it.
one way, it has to
What
go
if
the
the
same way.
Well, when we expand it, the LCK is just always going to be 2-0s forever, right?
Best of 2. All right, this makes a lot of sense. I don't really know who else you would vote for other than Peter for the vibes.
Knockdown for his Ziggs build?
I guess.
No, I was
Dudu playing Yorick without a maiden. Yeah, there weren't a lot of good choices. I guess Closer had a good Yone game.